All right. Good afternoon to our audience. It's great to be here again, and I'm sure that you are learning a great deal on this platform since last week Saturday. It has been a fun-filled and learning session for me, in particular, and I'm sure that applies to every one of us. So today we brought another interesting topic along the track of Excel today, and we'll be discussing working with Excel charts and tables. When working with numerical data in Excel, sometimes a chart is what we need to show the meaning behind the numbers, not just looking at the tables, but with the chart, you can get great insights within a twinkle of an eye, interpreting what your table is talking about. So we are going to be talking about different types of charts and different ways you can customize them to represent your data. And today, um, introducing the speaker of today in the person of Mr. Rasheed. Mr. Rasheed is a Microsoft certified data analyst and also a Microsoft certified trainer. He has a 15-year working experience in a third-party logistics company in Nigeria, providing logistics and ancillary services with expertise in three operational units. That is the warehousing, the haulage, and distribution. But he has deviated to the data analytics discipline to apply it in a way that it can also impact his area of specialty. So as Mr. Rashid is a certified data analyst, he has excellent analytical skills, is a problem solver, is highly, he has he has um, is highly process oriented with in-depth knowledge of database types, research methodologies, manipulating data, visualizing data, and today he will be doing us the honors of walking us through what Excel charts and tables are and how it impacts our data um, presentation, our data interpretation. So, right about now, I'm going to hand over to Mr. Rasheed Oguniran. Please, if you have any question as the um, training or as the presentation is going on, please do us well to drop your questions in the chat comments. And when it's time for questions and answers, we would do justice to that. So over to you, Mr. Rashid Ogunero. Welcome.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Oyebola Omoya. I really appreciate that introduction. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rashid. As I have been introduced, I'll be taking us round what we have known before. I'm sure a lot of us have been working with Excel. I just feel we should start from the basics. There are people that have knowledge of advanced Excel, but since this journey is a series that is just starting, so it's better we move gradually in the interest of some newbies in our midst. So I'll be taking us around the topic working with Excel charts and tables. So I move on. So before I move on, I would like to appreciate um, our partners, because when people are dancing outside, is because there are some people that are beating the drum set inside. So we are drumming outside, we are dancing outside now. Some people are drumming in. Some people made this journey possible, like Enterprise DNA. They are one of our sponsors. Microsoft is one of our sponsors. Covenant Technology is one of our sponsors. And Scat Creativity is equally one of our sponsors. And we equally want to appreciate Jare Computer Solution, who is the founder and the brain behind this vision. So just make sure you attend all the sessions and all the classes, because at the end of this journey, some lucky winners will win a lot of things. Microsoft is going to provide us with a challenge. This challenge will enable us win free vouchers. These free vouchers will enable us write exam that we should have paid like maybe $140, $150. By the time we, you know, explore Microsoft Learn, you understand what I'm talking about. And we equally have a gift for us in store from Enterprise DNA. They are one of our partners. And a lucky winner, we win a membership of Enterprise DNA. If you have Googled it before, you can just go and check Enterprise DNA online, and you will see amazing work that they are doing there. So that is just about our partners. So I move straight to my start. So quickly, we're going to look at what are graphs and charts in Excel. I decided to bring in a graph too, because those terms are always being used interchangeably, so we need to really separate them. Then we look at type of charts, graphs and charts. What's the difference? Tables in Excel, benefit of using an Excel table, tables versus charts in Excel. Before we now go to our demo session, as the time permits. So, what is charts? As you all can see in my graph here, chart and graph is in Microsoft provide method to visualize numeric data. While both graph and chart display set of data points in relation to one another, charts tend to be more complex, varied, and dynamic. As you can see, this is a graph and this is a chart. So you can see different kind of chart. I try to make sure I upload different kind of chart for us to see, so that at least we can follow through. So why many people use graph and charts interchangeably? They are different visuals. Charts are tables, diagram or picture that organize large amount of data clearly and concisely. People use charts to interpret current data and make predictions. But however, graphs focus on raw data and show trend over time. I say that again. Charts are tables and diagrams or pictures that organize large amount of data clearly and concisely, like this. People use charts to interpret current data and make predictions, but graphs, however, focus on raw data and show trends over time. So Excel offers us different kind of charts, and that is what you can see on my screen here. There is column, there is line, there is pie. This is a pie chart here. If you can see my cursor, this is a pie chart. This is a bar chart. This is a column chart. This is a line chart, an area chart, donuts, wedge, star chart, comparison chart, scatter chart, spider radar, bubble, column of radar, pie. So the lists are endless. There are still some complex charts, but for the purpose of this class, we will limit ourselves to these simple charts. So graph and chart, what is the difference? Although sometimes people use graphs and charts interchangeably, but it's important to know that there is a difference between graphs and charts. Summary, you can say that all graphs are charts, but not all charts are graphs. What is a graph? A graph is a mathematical diagram that depicts the relationship of two or more sets of numerical data over a period of time. I say that again. A graph is a mathematical diagram that depicts the relationship between two or more sets of numerical data over a period of time. Chart, however, on the other hand, is the representation of data sets with the intent of making users understand the information in a better manner. All these things, we're going to practicalize it. So chart enables even a layman to understand what's going on. It's readable. So, point to note, There are different types of charts used in visualization, with each of these charts being used in different situations. So the situation in which these charts are used depends mainly on the strengths and weaknesses of each method. All charts are good. They have their advantages and they have their disadvantages. Take for instance now a pie chart. A pie chart can be used. It's very visually appealing, very nice, but you cannot use a pie chart for large amount of data. It will be a total mess up. So you use charts based on their strengths. If you are visualizing maybe like 5, 10 items, you can use a pie chart. It's allowed. So I move. So that is why we prefer to use bar chart in some cases, while other we use radar chart. Choosing which type of chart to use depends on the discretion of the data analyst. But the choice will be influenced by strength, weakness, and the audience you are presenting to. You need to understand, and that's why it's very important. You need to understand the people that are your audience, the people listening to your presentation. So, what is table in Excel? An Excel table is a rectangular range of data that has been defined and named in a particular way. An Excel table is always rectangular in nature, and it has been defined in a particular way. So, see Excel as a container of data. Every one of us use container. Container is what we put something inside. So we keep data inside Excel. So Excel is a container of data. It keeps our data for us. A table is a powerful feature to group your data together in Excel. Think of a table as a specific set of rows, columns in a spreadsheet. You can have a multiple table in a sheet. We'll get there as we progress in the course of this journey. Benefit of tables in Excel. Excel has a lot of benefits. You can create tables within an Excel worksheet. Yes, it's possible. We are going to make that happen. How to you learn how to create an Excel sheet. You use form to speed up data entry in Excel. You can add new rows by just pressing a tab in Excel. Column headers are always visible in Excel. All these things we're going to see, we're going to practicalize it. Displaying total is ridiculously easy in Excel. I'm going to show us how all these things are being applied. Formula stays consistently across your data. I will practicalize that too when we get to that bridge. Now, graphs and charts will automatically update to include all your data. Formatting will be consistent for all records within a table. You can revert to a normal table or a normal range. We move to the next slide. So let's really look at the difference between a table and charts. Now, when you talk about table, it simply means that you are talking about displaying data or information in rows and in columns. Well, I said that earlier, and I've showed us a sample that a table will have a row and a column, but charts is a graphical display of information wherein information is illustrated in symbols such as bars, lines, or slides. When you are seeing bars, lines, or slides, you are already looking at the charts. But table is differentiated with a column and a row. So rows are also called a record of vector in a table. Columns are also known as parameters, fields, or attributes in table. But when you look at a chart, it defines the relationship between a large quantity of data and its part, and it makes it easier to read and understand. It makes it easier for people to read and understand. So that is a chart. Now, the point of intersection between a column and a row is called a cell. That is the points a row and a column intersected. We call it a cell. So text are seldom used in a chart except for titles which appears above the charts, describing data that is being referred to. What this means is that we don't use much text in a chart, except if you just want to write the title, okay, sales figure, or sales performance, some things that you see at the top. So you don't write, not like tables where you can write everywhere. You can write name, you can write figure, you can write area, you can write location, you can write as much as you want. Now, a table is used in research, data analysis, and communication. I say that again. Tables are used in research, data analysis, and communication. While data are displayed horizontally with in x-axis or vertically in y-axis, each consisting of a scale. A table keeps track of information in terms of quantities, numbers, as well as names, addresses, parameters, as the case may be. While charts consist of either a major or minor grid or some sort. So, having exhausted our time on the presentation, so at the end of this class, I'm going to give us these links for additional reading. If you need to know more about graphs and charts, if you need to understand tables better, and you want to really know what different kind of graphs that we have, these are, if you are with us on this training, you can use your phone to snap this link and do more research on this. So while we go to demo session, are you still seeing my screen?
Yes, we can still see your screen.
Okay, so I just prepared these figures, these parameters for everybody to see. This is, we look, some people will look at this work and they call it a table, but this is not a table. These are just figures and information. But we're going to practicalize and make it a table, because don't forget, we are looking at table and chart in Excel. Now we want to make this data, we want to make it look like a table. We want to learn some things there. So if you look at this table very well, you understand that this table has first name, last name, departments, January sales, February sales, and March sales. But we cannot analyze data here until we make it a table. And there are different ways we can make our data a table. Now, the first way of making a data a table, or let me reframe my sentence. We need to structure data for us to have a meaningful data analysis. I say that again. We need to structure our data, by making it a table for us to have a meaningful data analysis. Number one way, click within the table, hit on Control T. A dialog box will pop up for you to see. It's saying, where is this data in your table? It has highlighted that table and it's asking you, does your table has an header? You can see that that box has been ticked. So if I click OK, if I hit OK, it automatically turns to a table. And now we can begin to analyze it. Let me go back. So let me quickly autofill this. For the purpose of people that does not know, all you need to do is just double click and it fill the rest of the number for you. So let's quickly make it a table. Control T and okay, this is a table. That's one way of doing it. I will undo it. Another way of doing it is you can go to your insert tab. When you hit on your start tab, go to your left hand side and search for table formats. No, sorry, home tab. Sorry, you go to your home tab, you see format table. Then you click on it. When you click on it, that same dialog box will pop up again, and it will enable you to make your data a table. Can you see? Immediately your data becomes a table, you have chance of changing the design to whatever that suits you, whatever that you want. You can choose your choice. So Control Z. So there are three ways. So I have another way: insert and insert table. When you click on insert, the same dialog box will pop up. All you need to do is click OK, and it becomes a table. So those are the three ways. Don't forget. The first one, Control T. The second one, um, go to your home, click on table formats. The third one, insert table. Insert table. So those are the way to use your table. Now, that's how to three ways to create a table. Now, what if this is our first name, this is our second name? Normally, we should, because we have made this table a structured data, normally we should be able to join these two names together. How can we achieve this? That we don't need to use ampersand, we don't need to use, I don't know, I've forgotten the other function. Okay, we can use concatenate or ampersand. So we don't need to use that. I don't know if you heard about, let me share with us a formula called text join. Text join. And this is how to go about it. You type text join function. So when you click on your text join function, what did you want to do? So you put your comma. I want a space in between the comma. You put another inverted comma. You now put a comma down there. Then, in case there is any space in between your data, you can put another comma. You now come to where you now highlight the two names. Sorry. So after highlighting the two names, you put your comma. All you need to do now is touch enter. As simple as that. So already you have already merged the two names. All you need to do is you can now you can now rename here, cancel this, and call it full name. As simple as that. Let us assume that I want to add something to this my table. Let us assume that I want to add something with it. I want to put a dash, for instance. Now, don't forget, this is already a structured data. So all we need to do is to come here, click hit the table. You will see the formula up. So in the formula bar, come to where we have two inverted comma, click in between, space. You can put dash, for instance. When I put dash and I hit my enter, automatically all those names already have what we can see as dash in between it, because it's already a structured data. I hope we are following. So those are ways to work with tables. Now let us assume that in this table we want to find our total, for instance. We want to look for sum, maybe total sales. Now when we click here, we hit equals to sum. What are you summing? Sum. All you need to do is just click a place inside your table and hit on control space bar. Immediately you hit on your control space bar, it will highlight the whole figure that you want to add together. Assuming you have like 10,000 rows, 3,000 rows, I decide to limit this my data to what we can see, so that we can see how that function will highlight everything together. So now we now just put our we close our bracket and we hit enter. That is the sum of, okay, let me highlight it. So this is sum total of the figure of performance in the month of January. Assuming you want to see the month of February, just go to the formula bar, cancel that January, then put February. Hit your enter. The figure automatically changes. Okay, I want to see the March. Go to March. Change that where you have February to March, and hit enter, and that is your figure. So those are the ways to really take advantage of your data. So this is sum. Here we have gotten sum. What if we want to get our average? What if we need to get our average? Same thing, same procedure. All you need to do is come right here, equals to average function. You double click on average function. After double clicking, click that column where you want to look for its average. Let's say in March, you want to look for a column in March. Can you see? Then after you have clicked on that column where you want to find the average, hit your control space bar. After clicking on control space bar, then close the brackets. After you have closed the brackets, hit your enter. And simple as that, you have your average. If you want to know your minimum figure, for instance, your minimum, how can we achieve that? Same thing. Just hit your equals to. After your equals to, type the function minimum. You double click on it. After double clicking on it, okay, we want to look for the minimum figure in January. Just make sure you click on that column. Just click anywhere in the cell. It doesn't have to be everything. Just anywhere in the cell. After clicking anywhere in the cell, then you now hit your control space bar. After hitting your control space bar, then you close your brackets. Then you hit your enter. So 322 is the minimum figure in the column in January. And if you are following me, you can see where my cursor is hovering. You can see where my cursor is hovering. So that is where we have our minimum. So you can explore some of these things. It is as simple as that. If you want to find your mean deviation, standard deviation, all the formulas are there. So those are how to take advantage of your table. Don't forget, let me quickly do a recap. You can make a raw data a table three ways. You can hit on your Control T, you can click on Home and hit on Table Formats. You can click on Insert and hit on your table. And when you do all that, you have the chance of, you know, you have the chance of designing it any way that suits you. If your company logo has to do with blue, this one is fair enough. But if your company logo does not have to do with blue, then you must work with it. Because if you're a data analyst for a company like MTN, for instance, and you analyze the data for MTN and you are using blue color, you can be fired. Because, or let me say, you are using green color. We all know that MTN color is logo is yellow. You are using green. It's as good as you are promoting Globacom in MTN, and that is a big issue. I hope we are all following. If you know you have any question, ensure you drop your question in the chat box so that we can address it at the end of the class. We have been looking at how to structure your table, how to merge names in different columns together and make it one, as we have achieved here, how to get sum, total, and the rest. The lists are endless of what we can learn. Take for instance here now, you can come here. If you want to get the total row, it will show us. Okay, it's showing us because the names are the last one. You can see the total name here is 9. So you can if you want to unfilter, you can uncheck, and but it's good you have your filter. So any design you want, you can pick it here. Depends on your choice. So on and on. By the time you play with this thing, you play with it on and on, you get used to it. So those are the basics that you need to know. If you want, you can rename your table here. Okay, I can call this staff table, for instance. Staff table. Now, after naming it staff table, if I come back and check on this function, automatically Excel, before it was showing. Okay, let me undo what I'm doing. Now, this is what I'm trying to say. If you look into my dialog box, for instance, now you see that equals to sum table 6 March 2021 is what is there. But if I choose to rename my table, for instance, now if you want to do that, please, if you click outside, your table function will not show. If you click here, your table function will not show. Or you click on what you have calculated, your table function will not show. You must click inside that table. Make sure you click inside that table so that it can display what you need to work on. Click inside that table. So now here, let me go to table function. So that is what we'll discuss on table. So because of our time, we need to quickly go to charts. So this is another data that I put together for us. These are months, January up to December. And this is the sales figure. What we want to achieve in this data is for us to explore how to create charts in Excel. Now, All we need to do is just to highlight this data. Immediately we highlight this data, we have two options. We can go up here on our ribbon and click on recommended chart if we so wish. There are a whole lot of charts here. But as I've highlighted the table, if you look at the table very well, you realize that because my cursor is not on the table, nothing is showing. But when I put my cursor on it, if you look down very well at the edge here, you will see one small dialog box. No, don't come out yet. You see one icon here. There is one small icon. That icon is called quick analysis. You can click on that icon. Why is he not responding? Okay, I don't know why he's not responding. Okay, if he's not responding, let's use the upper one. These are recommended type of graph that you can use to analyze this type of reports. For instance, this is a line chart. This is another one. This is a clustered column chart. We normally use cluster column chart to compare values across few categories. And we use it when the order of the categories is not important. There is another chart also that is called stacked chart. What do we use stacked chart for? We can use stacked chart to display the relationship of parts to whole over time of all categories. We also use it to show the magnitude of change over time or draw attention to the total value across the trend. We can equally use pie chart. For those of you that are following me, when I was explaining different kinds of charts and their advantages. Now, this data we are looking at is just 12. We all know that 12 months make a whole year. And so, these are just a representation of 12 results. So, because it's 12, we can use a pie chart. Because a pie chart is used to show proportion of a whole. You can use it to show numbers that relates to a large sum and always equal to 100. If you calculate a percentage of your pie chart and it is more than 100, then there is a problem. Maybe with your calculation or something. Do not use this chart if it contains many slices, angles, or hard to estimate. Assuming you have maybe like 30 data, 100 and above, you can use pie chart for it. If you use a pie chart, it will not look good. We also have what we call a funnel chart. What is a funnel chart? A funnel chart represents stages in procession, showing progressively decreasing proportion of your data being displayed. I say that again. A funnel chart represents stages in process, showing progressively decreasing proportion in the data that you are displaying. It's not limited to the chart we have is not limited to all this. We still have Pareto charts, Pareto chart plus the distribution of the data in descending order of frequency with a cumulative line of secondary axis. I mean, this secondary axis by this time is what it's referring to show the percentage. But if you want to see, those are the recommended charts. But charts are more than that. We have multitude of charts. That there is bar chart, surface charts, radar charts, tree map, sunburst, histogram, box whisker, waterfall, funnel, and on. But let us assume that we want to go with this chart, for instance, and let's hit our OK. So these are sales charts, for instance, for the period. You can see January is the smallest, followed by February, and up to December. But I see a lot of things that we can do to our charts. There are a lot of values that we can add. You see all these icons you are seeing, they are not just there for being their sake. They serve certain purposes. Take for instance, this is what we call chart elements. If for instance, if you look at my chart very well, you realize that there are lines on the chart. Those are what we call grid lines. Okay, I don't want to see that grid lines there. I can uncheck it from here. And what happens? The grid line disappears. If I don't want to see my chart title, I can uncheck it and you won't see it, you see it no more. But I want it to be there. If I want my charts to have a legend, I can check it. And you can already see a legend here. What if I want to see a trend line of my performance? It is as easy as that. So those are what we can take advantage of, you know, in our charts elements. Okay. So there is also what we call chart styles. You know, you can set a style and color scheme for your charts. It depends on what works for you. You can select, you can see the samples. I think I will prefer this. I like this. For me, I like this. So you can look at what works for you. It enables you to change the color and beautify your charts. On and on like that, and like that. So I move straight to number 3. That is what we call chart filter. Okay, this is January to December, and I want to filter it. I don't want everything to show. Maybe let me say I want to let's say I work for a company that their end of the year is maybe August, for instance. And for that reason, I do not want to see our company performance from September to December. What can I do? I can filter it. All I need to do is to come to chart filter, then uncheck December, uncheck, okay, uncheck December, uncheck October, uncheck September, and after unchecking the 4 of them, then I click on hit on apply. Make sure you hit on your apply. If you don't hit on your apply, it will not change anything. You'll just be wondering what's going on. It won't change anything. So you can see now that I've already filtered out 4 months in our charts. So those are how we can work on our charts. This is already 3:45 and I need to make provision for question and answer. So I think I have just 5 minutes more. I will send us some link that we can read and explore on our own for people that needs help. My My links are there, my addresses. So all this will go a long way in helping us. You need to reach out, you need help, you need a guide on how to really blossom and scale in this journey. So I think so. Those are the ways that we can work and beautify on our chart. If you like, you can edit your title. You can add call it says performance. It's your choice. You can see. I think I even want to like this one more. So it's continuous learning, continuous practicing. You learn, you practice, you replicate, you see somebody's work, how the person has done it, you try to replicate it. I don't know the time we've had, but I let me see
Thank
who.
you. Thank you, Mr. Rasheed. You have you have really done justice to Excel charts and tables. I wish you could just go on and on and on. Thank you so much. I've learned quite a lot. Excel tables are highly explicit and informative. Even with this chart element I saw, they are highly informative. You can filter, you can pick what you want, you can select what you want, just to tell your story, to pass the exact information to your colleagues or the management. Thank you so much. So we have a question, and the question is on Excel chart, and it says, how do we determine the type of chart that will be appealing to top executives? How do we determine the type of chart that will be appealing to top executives? So help us with that
So,
question.
so can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
So, how do we determine the type of charts that will appeal to top executive? It's very simple. You know, executive, they are strategic thinkers. They want to know what will happen in the next 5, 10, 15 years. So there are some, what we've learned today are just basic element of charts. There are advanced charts. Maybe after this class, I don't have the link here. I can send some link to us on advanced charts, you know, that can help you to compare trend, maybe 5, 10 years performance. So those are the charts that executive wants to see. They want to look at your projection. Okay, you sell 1,000 this year. Okay, let us assume that they gave you a target of increasing your performance by 10%. That means 1,100 every year. So, okay, in the next 10 years of a particular product or SKU, how many would you have sold? So, you might not be able to achieve that with this simple chart I've taught you. You can see it's just basics. But just what I will advise you to do is make sure that, because this journey is still for the next 2 months, we still have a lot of topic line up that you're going to learn a whole lot of things. So in the course of those trainings, we're still going to bring a topic on advanced charts and where you need to apply it. I think that will suffice to assist you solve your problem. I don't know if I've answered Abdul Razak Absalam's answer.
Yes, you have. I also want to add to what you have said, that different charts have their own peculiarity as regards information they pass across. Of course, Mr. Rashida talked about column charts, line charts, pie charts, and so many. So column charts are basically chart that talks about quantity, volumes, something you can measure in terms of their units. Column chart basically does that, and it is the commonly used chart in organizations everywhere, as long as you can meet the business requirement. Another condition that will determine the type of chart we are going to use is the business requirements. What does the management want to know? What information do they require? What information do they need from the data set? It will now determine the type of chart you are going to use. Another one is the line chart that he mentioned. It talks about trend over time. You want to know the trend of a particular item within a year, within 2 years, you know, line chart is good for that. Another one he talked about is the pie chart. Pie chart talks about proportion in percentages. Okay, 50%, we sold 50% of an item in 2021. And in 2022, we sold 70% of that same item. So those are the things that can, help us determine the type of charts we should use or will be appealing to the top executives. I hope we've been able to answer Abdurazak's question. Please, at this point, we need more questions so that our presenter, Mr. Rasheed, can help us trash them before we call it a day. And I've also pasted the feedback link on the chat. Please do us a favor by giving us your feedback. Feedback is a breakfast of champions. We want to know what we've done well. We want to know what we can do better when next this kind of a session is coming up. Please avail us your just about 1 minute or one and a half thereabouts. Avail us your little time to fill the feedback form. Thank you. So thank you very, very much, Mr. Rashid. Then I want to ask, can we customize charts in Excel? Is there a provision for that to customize charts? If I'm doing a data analysis for MTN, is it possible that I customize their charts with their color, with their logo, and all of that?
Nothing is possible to achieve. The data analysis journey has gone wide. We can customize charts in Excel. We can customize charts. But it's just that we are looking at the basics now. As we go on, I'm very sure that the founder and the leadership team of this platform, we can advise them. It can be part of the feedback question. It can be part of the feedback question. What we expect our participants to tell us what they want, what they would like to see. So they can put that as part of what the topics that we can still bring on board, because our
Okay.
time has been fast spent and we need to prepare for another session after this class.
Okay.
So I don't
We
want
just
us to
have
exceed
about
our time.
um, we just have about 5 minutes
No,
more.
no,
One more
we don't have.
question.
Okay.
I think we have about 5 minutes more. One more question. I want to ask if our chat can be exported to another tool, maybe like Word or PowerPoint, Excel,
Of
for
course,
our
it can.
presentations. I
Of,
mean,
of, of
PowerPoint
course,
presentation.
Of course, it can. It can. I work with Excel. When I analyze my data in Excel in my office, I move it to PowerPoint presentation because my manager does not need my Excel. So what he wants to show top management is the PowerPoint slides. So I export it to PowerPoint slides and send it to him. So the provision is there.
Okay. All right. Thank you very, very much for
Thank you, Dr. Bola.
for doing justice to these questions. And
Thank you.
as you have said, it takes a while to get all these things in our subconscious. And it has to do with practice, just like Mr. Rashid has said. With time, as you do a lot of practice on your own, you get familiar with these elements in Excel, and before you know it, you are well grounded Microsoft Excel is a very lovely tool, and it is the basics for anyone or any data analyst that is willing to progress in the journey of being, a data analyst, or of delivering value to the company, or delivering value even as an entrepreneur. Excel is the basics, and the more you work on it, the more granular it will become for you. So thank you so much, for taking us through this topic. And I want to tell our audience that next week is another session on this track.
No,
I
next hour. Next another
Okay,
session is
next.
starting.
Yeah, okay. So we have another session. I think the Azure session, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The
Data
Azure track.
engineering, data engineering and data scientists.
Okay. So the data engineering track and data science track will be coming up next in like 3 minutes time. So let's avail ourselves the opportunity to also know what these two tracks entails. Probably it will catch our interest. Thank you very much for your time. So see you soon again. Bye.
Thank you everyone. See you in the next few minutes when we will start the next session. Thank you.